So I thought this week we would focus on the upper body, shoulders, that area. When we're talking about the upper body and the shoulders, we're talking about a joint, which is a ball and socket joint, which gives it tremendous mobility. We can do all kinds of things with our arms. But in maintaining that range of motion, it's always a balance between flexibility and strength. And if you've ever injured your shoulder, like a rotator cuff or that kind of thing, you know how problematic that can be. So we're going to work on strengthening, we're going to work on opening. But as always, I remind you that this is your practice. You are the one who is living in your body, so you know best what your body can do and can't do safely. So please listen to that. So if you don't have a yoga tie handy, please make sure you grab one, and I'm going to go to my seat. So just letting yourself settle in to begin your practice by coming into the moment, by coming into the breath. Maybe feeling your feet on the floor, maybe circling your shoulders a little bit in one direction, the other. And you can also get fancy and make one go one way, one go the other way. Switch it up. Letting your spine be nice and tall so there's lots and lots of room for breath. Allowing your eyes to close. And turning all of your attention to the sensation of breath coming in and breath going out. So, and just reminding yourself that whatever happened earlier in the day isn't important now, neither is whatever you may need to do later. All there is this very moment. This is a time when we check in, body, mind, energy, emotions, beginning to find out who you are in your practice today. And remembering that everything, all of you, is welcome. No need to push anything aside or change anything. And let's invite the breath to get a little bit deeper now so that it begins deep down in the belly, traveling upward through the chest, all the way to the shoulders. And then exhaling from the top down, letting the exhale pour from the body, shoulders, chest, and finally the belly. At the end of each exhale, drawing the belly back towards the spine and lifting up slightly on the pelvic floor. Begin to engage those deep core muscles. Each time you notice that your thoughts are wandering away to another time or something you may need to do, just gently bring it back to the breath. Over the next 3 breaths, see how present you can become, bringing your body, your mind, your heart all together in one place. When you complete that third exhale, just put that technique to one side. Allow your natural breath to come back. And we'll bring our centering to close by bringing hands to prayer position and joining our voices in the sound of Om. Deep breath in. Om. Om Shanti. Peace. May we all know peace. Great. So on an inhale, sweeping your arms up, and exhale, bringing them down. So we're just getting started now. Notice how your shoulders are feeling this morning. Maybe lifting your head as you breathe in, or dropping your chin to your chest as you breathe out. Filling the body with breath and then allowing it to leave. So the next time your arms come overhead, we're going to pause, coming into seated mountain pose. And we'll build this pose from the ground up, pressing into your feet, lengthening through your spine, sitting squarely on your sit bones, shoulders relaxed while the fingers lift. Full breaths. And now we're going to climb the ladder. So we're going to go hand over hand and let it be a really active reach and a pulling down, as if there were something in your hand that you were reaching for and pulling down. You want to feel the stretch all the way down the side of your body. Reach and pull and reach and pull. One more time each side. Reach up as high as you can, pull it down. Right arm, reach up, pull it down. And then coming back into mountain. So I'm going to bend my left elbow here and cradle it with my right palm. You can pat yourself on your back if you like. I'm so good for doing my yoga practice. One more breath, drawing those elbows, shoulders back, heart is opening. Good, and then let that go. Take a breath, and we'll do that on the other side. Arms lift up, coming into mountain. Reach up high. And then we're going to bend the right elbow. Cradle it. So notice that the further back you draw the shoulders and the elbows, the more opening you'll have for breath. A couple more breaths here. And then release. Take a couple of breaths. Again, another reminder that if I'm holding a pose and it's starting to feel uncomfortable for you, you certainly do not need my permission to relax and let it go. Good. So let's reach out with the fingers, extending the arms. Inhale, turn your palms up. Exhale, rotate them down. Breathing in, lifting the palms, rolling the thumbs back. Exhaling, turning the thumbs down. So as you're doing this, oh my goodness, sorry about that. Everybody wants me, I don't know why. As you're doing this, Just notice what's happening in the back body in the area of your shoulder blades, how the shoulder blades are moving. Good. One more time. Lift the palms up. And now we're going to touch the fingertips to the shoulders. Elbows are directly out to the side. And let's circle the elbows. So you can start small and let the circles get bigger and bigger. Make sure you're breathing while you're doing that. The breath is a good gauge of whether or not you're too far into the pose for your comfort. If you can't breathe smoothly and fully, you need to back out of the pose. It's a good gauge. Okay, let's pause that and go in the other direction. Big circles. Big circles. Big, 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 big circles. One more big circle. Open your arms out, turn the palms down, and allow them to float down and take a breath. So, let's take our yoga tie here. And we're going to do a little stretch, and then we're going to do a little strengthening with the tie. So I'm going to take the tie in my left hand and stretch it right up to the ceiling. And then I'm going to reach around behind me with my other hand and stretch the tie. I'm going to turn around so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm just lifting up with one hand and pulling down with the other. Nice deep stretch, nice deep breaths. One more. And then release that, and we'll switch sides. So we're reaching up with the right arm, grabbing the end of the tie with the left hand, and straightening both elbows. So right arm reaches up, left arm presses down. So if this is uncomfortable for you and you need to keep a little bend in the elbows to prevent overstretching, that's perfectly fine. Nice deep breaths. Great. And let's let that go. So now we're going to do our strengthening exercises with the tie. And the main thing about this series is to keep the tension on the tie. So you're pulling your hands in the opposite direction, regardless of what other movement you're doing. That brings the muscles into a state of contraction. So that's what's going to work it. So separate your hands a comfortable distance apart and just begin by raising the tie overhead and pulling it in opposite directions. Great. Take a breath in and then exhale, round your spine, press your hands forward, but pulling in opposite directions on the tie. Inhale up, exhale, reach it back. Inhaling up, exhale, rounding the back. Inhaling up, and exhale back. So you can breathe in and out through the nose, or if you want, you can breathe in through the nose and let the breath go through the mouth. Whatever way works best. Let's do a couple more of those. Rounding the spine, tucking the chin, rolling off your sit bones. You should be beginning to feel that the work is going on in your shoulders. Good. And then we're going to go from side to side. So the breath comes in when we lift up, and the exhale allows us to reach. So the next time you come over to the left, we're going to pause and just hold that stretch. Again, if you need to come out sooner, that's perfectly fine. Make sure both of your sitting bones are firmly on the chair. Both feet pressing into the floor. Good. Inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, reach over to the other side and hold. Nice deep breaths. Tension on the thigh. Great. Breathe it up to center, and then we'll begin to do some circles. So just, again, keeping that nice, even tension on the thigh. Ooh. Big, lazy circles. Let yourself go as wide as your body will allow. And then let's pause and switch it up. Go the other way. Stirring up the pot. And then once more, reach it overhead. Release the thigh, lower it down. And just take a moment to notice how you feel. So you probably notice all the work that went on in the arms and the shoulders. So let's just draw the left arm across the body, gently press. Make sure you're breathing. And then let's go to the other side. Right arm crosses the chest. We gently press on the upper arm. Nice way to release the shoulders. So let's extend our arms forward. Turn the palms so they're facing outward. Take your left hand, cross it over your right, and interlace your fingers. And then turn your hands inside out. Woo! And breathe. Good. Re-extend the arms and change the cross. So it's the right hand coming across the left. You'll probably notice that one side is a lot easier to do than the other. That's perfectly normal. We're not symmetrical in terms of strength or flexibility. One more breath. And then release that. Let it go. My shoulders feel nice and open. You know, I did massage therapy for 20 years, and I used to notice that people who had a lot of tension in their shoulder area were very responsible people. They were literally carrying the weight of the world on their shoulders. So if you're one of those kinds of people, it might come as no surprise to you when you have a lot of shoulder tension. Just a little side tidbit. Okay, so I'm going to bring up my right knee. Make sure I'm sitting up tall, relaxing the shoulders as I'm pulling the knee in towards my body. I can use, if that doesn't work for me, I can use my yoga tie here under the thigh. And let's just circle the ankle. Nice and slow. It's too hot to move fast today. Let's go in the other direction. Bring it up a little higher if you can. Great. And let's move into the figure 4 stretch. So you know your options are to cross at the ankle, at the knee, or to place that ankle on top of the opposite thigh. So take a minute to look down and make sure that your left foot is directly under the knee, not off to the side. Great. Press down on the knee, pull up on the foot till you feel just the right amount of stretch. And if you want, lean forward. Always staying connected with the breath, staying connected with sensations. And let's release that now. So breathing in, coming up just as mindfully as you went in, uncrossing the leg, and taking a breath. And we'll go to the other side. So left knee comes up. Relax the shoulders. Don't use the shoulders to pull the knee up. You want to keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. And we'll circle the ankle here. One direction. And the other direction. And maybe pausing so we can draw that knee up a little higher. Remember, you can always use your yoga tie here. Awesome. And let's go into the figure 4 stretch. So, and remember, it might feel very different between the two sides. It's perfectly fine. So let's press down on the knee, gently pull up on the foot. Remember, this is getting at the piriformis muscle, which can cause some terrible back pain for people if it's sciatica. All right, lean forward if you like. Be like Goldilocks, not too little, not too much, just right. Staying with your breath, most important. And as you take a breath in, release that. Okay. So we'll do some sun salutations, although the sun seems to be doing just fine without our help these days. So palms begin in front of the heart center, lightly pressing together to wake up the arms. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhaling, reaching back. Inhaling, back to mountain. Exhale, fold forward. Let all of that breath go. Palms to the knees, come up halfway. Exhaling and folding. Inhale, arms sweep up, gathering in the breath, gathering energy. Exhale, reach it back. Taking the breath in and then letting it go. Let's do one more of those. Breath in and out. And in. Nice big sweep down with your open wings. Palms to the knees as you breathe in. Exhaling and folding. Inhale, arms sweep up. And reach it back. Breathe into mountain and back to your heart and allow yourself a couple of breaths just to pause and notice how you feel. Great, and open your eyes. So one of the best shoulder openers that I know is Garudasana, which translates to the eagle pose. So we'll warm up for eagle pose, then we'll do it seated, and then I will invite those of you who would care to do it standing to join me, and we'll do it standing. If you choose, you can just repeat it in a seated position. So let's open the upper body first. Backs of the hands together. These are your wings. As you exhale, take your left arm, bring it across your chest, and wrap your right arm on top. Now, if this does not work for you, you can simply cross your arms across your chest. Make sure the upper arms are pressing towards one another. Nice squeeze in the upper body. Good. Inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, press it down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. And then very small circles with the elbows. Make sure that the only thing that's moving is the arms. Make a few in the other direction.
Good. And then gently point the fingers forward. And bring it back. Good. We'll open our wings and go to the other side. Right arm comes across, left arm comes on top. We wrap, squeezing the upper arm bones, drawing the elbows down. Inhale, lift, and lower. Remember, you can just cross your arms across your chest if that works better for you. Breathing in and lifting, breathing out and lowering. In a few small circles here. Other direction. And again, let's point the fingers forward, keeping the squeeze in the upper arms. This is a very intense shoulder stretch, so just be cautious. And inhale, bring it up. Unwrap your arms and let them float down. So now we'll work on the upper body. You're going to take the left foot and cross it over the right. So the heel of that left foot is up and the sole of the right foot is down. So notice how the thighs have come apart. You want to squeeze the thigh bones together. Notice how when you do that, you sit up much taller. And we'll do the other side. Right foot crosses over the left. Bring the thighs together. Nice deep squeeze. Great, and release. So let's see if we can put it all together now. Arms come up. Exhaling, left comes around the right. Wrap, squeeze the arm bones. So we're going to take the left foot, cross it over the right. Squeeze the thighs together. Really squeezing. Breath is steady, very prominent. Gaze is beyond your fingers. Awesome. Uncross the feet. Open your wings. We'll go directly to the other side. Squeeze those arm bones together. Sit up tall. Crossing your right foot over your left and squeezing the thighs. So make sure that you're not squeezing so tightly that you can't find the complete breath. And come back to center. And exhale, bring it down. And take a breath. Great. Okay, let's come up to standing. So remember, you can always repeat eagle pose seated, but I'm going to lead it standing this time. And if you're not 100% comfortable with your balance, you can always keep one hand on the chair. So in other words, if you were to do the arm movements, it would be like this. Okay. Okay. So let's open our wings. And exhale, bring the left across the chest, wrap it with the right, squeeze the arm bones together, draw them down. Now, before you lift that left foot, soften your knees. Great. Cross the left foot over the right, press the toes down, squeeze the thighs together, and breathe. One more breath. Great. Release the feet. Open your arms. And we'll go directly to the other side. Again, softening the knees before you begin to lift the foot, engaging the upper body, shifting your weight, crossing the feet. So there's quite a bit of softness in the knees. I like to have quite a bit of bend for this pose. Helps with the balance too. One more breath here. Great. And then release. Open your arms. And let them float down. And breathe. Good. So I'm going to step my feet wide apart. Toes can turn out slightly or face directly ahead. That's fine. I'm going to extend one arm and the other arm if I don't need it for balance. Turn your palms up. Create a bend in your knees. Come down into a squat. This is called goddess pose. So work towards bringing your elbows directly out from your shoulders. Great. Take a breath in, straighten the legs, and we'll get ready for triangle pose. So I'm going to turn my right foot so the toes face the chair, and my left foot turns in slightly. So place your left hand on your left hip and just begin to press that hip out to the side and bring it back. It's kind of like a little hula dance. Have any hula hoop champs out there? Great. So let's press that hip out to the left. Extend the left arm up and begin to reach. So keep drawing your top shoulder back. So you're opening the front of the body. If you don't need your right hand for balance, bring it to the inside of your leg. Gaze can be up at the horizon or at the floor. Wherever's comfortable for your neck. So let's put some energy in that left arm. Let it guide us up. Great. And do a little counter stretch. So right arm sweeps up and over. And down we go. So let's get ready for runner stretch. I'm going to turn both feet now so they're facing the chair, and my hips are facing the chair as well. Press the hips back. Bring your hands wherever they're comfortable. Don't lock your knees. If you don't need them for balance, bring your hands either to the floor or behind your back. And keeping that length in the spine, let's come back up. Nice deep breath all the way up and step your feet together. So we'll take a little pause, take a breath, and we'll go to the other side. So stepping your feet a comfortable distance apart, excuse me, they usually say to aim for a leg length. So, but that may not feel comfortable. Maybe you want to stand slightly wider or maybe a slightly narrower stance. It's all good. You know, whatever works. So extending one arm or both arms, palms come up, and we move into goddess pose. Nice, steady breath. Good, pressing into your feet, come all the way up, and we'll set up for triangle. Hips remain facing forward. Left foot turns towards the chair. Right foot turns in slightly. And let's just press the right hip out. So we're just getting that nice gliding movement. Next week, we're going to focus on the lower body. So every part of the body will get its rightful turn. So keeping that hip pressed out, reaching up, over, releasing the left arm if you do not need it for balance. So if you find that you tend to roll forward in this pose, it might be helpful to bring your arm behind you and roll the shoulder back. You can play with that. So putting energy in that arm, let's come up. Do our counter stretch. And get ready for runner stretch. So now the hips and the feet both face the chair. And we hinge right at the hips. Hips move back. Torso moves forward. Placing your hands wherever is comfortable for you. Neck is relaxed, head is heavy. Breath is steady. Good. So think about extending over the forward leg. Knees are soft. And on an inhale, let's bring it up. All the way. Great. Step your feet together and let's take a seat. Oh, that feels really good. So let's finish our practice with a seated twist and thread the needle. So I'll start with the right arm, stretch it out forward. Bring that palm to my left knee, left hand to the chair. Lengthening as you breathe in. Remember from your twists not to over twist the neck, to keep it lined up right with the center of your chest. Breathing in, breathing out. You can cross the left leg over the right. Coming back to center. Good. And taking your right arm again, sliding along your thigh, easing yourself forward. You can take that left arm and sweep it up. Remember, this is your practice. So whatever variation works for you. And sweep it back. Other side, left arm reaches out. Palm to the right knee, right hand to the chair. Crossing that right leg over the left if you like. Just an option. Always, there are always options with yoga. The one non-negotiable is the breathing. Gotta keep breathing. And then come back. And we'll thread the needle on this side. Left arm slides through. Easing yourself forward. Right arm sweeps up if you like. Just remember to relax your head and your neck. And let's breathe in now and release that coming back up. Good. And let's just allow the eyes to close now. We've come to the end of the movement part of our practice. And now we just take the time to notice. What has changed physically, mentally, energetically because of my practice? No need to breathe in any particular way, just to let the breath flow. Easily, steadily, comfortably. Maybe feeling a little sense of gratitude for the body, the breath, this practice, and for one another. And then bringing hands to prayer position. Letting yourself stretch, open your eyes, let out a sound. Oh.
Back to prayer position, and we'll join our voices in an Om. Deep breath in. Om. Om Shanti, peace. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from fear. May all beings be healthy. May all beings know peace. Namaste. So Mary Ellen, if you would pause the recording there or stop it completely, I'm going to come up and we'll have a little chat.